But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like...
The new pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee, Kavenjane Wallace.
Wow. Wow. I don't think anyone saw this one coming.
For years, the tension between Kevin Hart and Katt Williams has simmered just below the surface, never addressed directly, never resolved. But now, Dave Chappelle is finally stepping in to explain why Kevin has never truly confronted Katt head-on. And it's not just about jokes or ego. Kevin is just afraid of being exposed. Katt Williams and Kevin Hart's feud reached a boiling point when Katt appeared on Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay podcast. During that explosive interview, Katt didn't hold back, slamming Kevin as an unfunny, untalented industry puppet who was strategically placed in Hollywood to replace him after he refused to compromise his principles. According to Katt, every movie role he turned down because he wouldn't bend to Hollywood's demands was handed straight to Kevin Hart. Katt claims Kevin was more than willing to do whatever the industry asked without question, making him the perfect replacement for comedians who refuse to play ball. The tension escalated further when Katt accused Kevin of fabricating his entire come-up story. He suggested that Kevin's career wasn't built through hustle and grind like he claims, but was instead manufactured by industry higher-ups after he sold his soul to them. Katt pointed out that in 15 years in Hollywood, no one has memories of sold-out Kevin Hart shows, lines around the block at comedy clubs, or standing ovations in his early days.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation. We've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is?
Katt's most damning accusation came when he revealed he was blackballed after refusing to do a scene in Friday After Next, where his character would be S.A. The producers thought the scene would be funny, but Katt didn't see how someone getting a could possibly be comedic. After standing his ground and refusing to film it, Katt says he was systematically pushed out of Hollywood, and every movie he was supposed to star in was given to Kevin Hart.
The truth of the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with. Katt Williams had to take the risk in front of the studios and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully, humbly, guys, if we're talking about anything else, I have no credibility and I have no pull. But we're talking about comedy,
right,
where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is we're trying to make a classic comedy. And this comedy involves and is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are. If you would allow me to allow us to do this movie without a black man getting in it, I promise you that it will be twice as funny as it would be with him getting raped. So considering that's the real story, why would you bring up that story? For a 5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk, that all I had said was, just, can we take some of this step and fetch it shit out? And then I can do it. Like, it don't need to be overtly homosexual, because I'm not homosexual, right? It doesn't need that to be funny, right? And me saying that and them going, oh yeah, no problem, and then going to give it to this other guy and having him do it just like it was, and acting like I'm a bad person because I keep standing on my standard. But yeah, it's interesting, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
But the attacks didn't stop there. Katt also called out Kevin for wearing a dress on Saturday Night Live in 2013, despite previously claiming he would never do such a thing. This was particularly significant because in the early 2000s, there was widespread discussion about black male entertainers being pressured to wear dresses as a rite of passage to achieve major success in Hollywood.
The new pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee, Kavenjane Wallace.
Wow. Wow. I don't think anyone saw this one coming.
Katt made it clear that he believes Kevin is part of a long line of black men who agreed to this humiliation ritual to transition to the next level of fame. He suggested that people like himself and Dave Chappelle could never reach Kevin's level of mainstream success for the simple fact that they refused to join the secret society that allegedly runs Hollywood. Katt went even further, claiming the individuals who control the entertainment industry are far more dangerous than most people imagine. He said he personally had to be stung a million times before he realized what he was dealing with, and there's a heavy price to pay if you continue speaking out publicly about the evil happening in Hollywood. Kevin Hart has consistently dismissed Katt's allegations, though his responses have evolved over time. After Katt's Club Shay interview went viral, Kevin appeared on The Breakfast Club with Tiffany Haddish and called Katt a failure. He claimed the reason Katt isn't where he thinks he should be is because he chose to be a crackhead instead of focusing on his career.
My frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one point.
You were the guy. Yeah. You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You off promo shoots. You your promo trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped.
Why was he a risk?
He chose.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what? I gotta fix me, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna stand up for comedy. So when you say Tiffany Haddish doesn't deserve or isn't really a comedian and these other women have worked hard, which they have. Shouts out to Melanie Camacho, shouts out to Lunel, shouts out to Leslie Jones, who are all underneath the umbrella of Katt Williams. Katt Williams, have you ever used your platform to bring the people that were under you up? You haven't. So because you haven't, don't those that now are. I've used my platform and I've brought my guys and girls up. The brand of Kevin Hart is a brand that's expanded so far, whether you like me or not. My presence in comedy will forever be felt because I'm a boss. I sit on the top of it, and the opportunities I'm giving are the ones that I'm creating. So take responsibility for what you did. You. Nobody else did. You don't hear Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, the Kings of Comedy, Seinfeld. You don't hear George Lopez, Eddie Griffin. You don't hear who else can I go down the road of other comedians? Steve Martin, Martin Short. You don't hear the guys that got on top and that made it by doing what they love complain about the people that are coming under them. The reason why is because they're happy with themselves. Don't blame everybody else for your Don't on my sister Light because you're not happy with your This earned, it's not given. I don't give a you a Tiffany Haddish fan or not.
But Katt didn't let the crackhead allegation slide, and he hopped on IG Live to call Kevin out for making up lies about him.
Stuff on social media, boy, I know what you do, but you do it for play. If you do it for real, here it is, Kevin. I got a show at your hometown in Philly. I'm gonna take my special there. On that stage, we can put whatever you want. A full court basketball court, a boxing ring, 2 microphones for a rap cipher, or you can get your dusted in comedy on that stage. But it's $1 million up for each one. That's $5 million, Mr. 28 million in Forbes. I'll be bringing mine in cash, Mitch. Bring yours however you want. And since you're not a puppet, don't bring no white people with you then. That's a $5 million bet individually. You can take it all, or you can take it part and parcel. This is the new movement.
More recently, Kevin appeared in an interview with Charlemagne the God and continued to dismiss Katt's relevance. Rather than addressing the substance of Katt's claims, Kevin said he regrets ever responding to Katt in the first place because he's not worth the response. He called Katt irrelevant and claimed he didn't gain anything beneficial from going back and forth with him, suggesting he should have stayed quiet and let Katt run with whatever narrative he wanted.
People, and your problems are like serious. It's not hard to ever get to a person and really like address the problem correctly. The problems that people have with me, they aren't my problems. So the idea of being petty or going back and forth, it's so beneath me because I don't have the problem. And I feel like if I engage, it makes it look like I got a problem. And I don't. And Tiffany was affected by some of the things he said, and it was more of a like support for her in that moment, and like some shots at him.
Do you regret that?
Yeah, I shouldn't even talk. I should never address him like, at all. I don't have to. What? Like, why? What will it do for me? What will I gain? There is no gain. So I look at everything from a business and economic standpoint. Like, if I'm investing in something, well, what is my return? What's the return on my investment? What's the return on my time? What's the return on my energy? What's the return on my investment? So that investment of self, words, dialogue brings me what? What? And if I can't answer that question, or if people around me can't answer that question, then it doesn't get an inklet of energy. So it has nothing to do with people feeling like they're above, people feeling like they're better. No, it has to do with a strong understanding of you and like yourself, level of awareness. Like I can check all these boxes.
Dave Chappelle's perspective on the situation is very interesting because he's walked a path similar to Katt's. Dave famously turned down a $50 million contract from Comedy Central in 2005 and escaped to South Africa, leaving the entertainment world stunned. When tabloids speculated about crack addiction and mental breakdowns, Dave eventually set the record straight on Oprah's show. He explained that he didn't walk away from the money itself, but rather the conditions that came with that lucrative contract. Dave revealed he saw what happens to entertainers before they're allowed to reach that next level of fame, and he wasn't willing to compromise his principles for it. Dave specifically addressed the conspiracy theory about black entertainers being forced to wear dresses before making it big. He recalled an incident while filming a movie with Martin Lawrence, where he was pressured to put on a dress for a scene. Even after expressing discomfort, the writers and producers continued pushing, telling him that all the greats have done the same.
But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down. Like,
what Dave found particularly telling was that the producers had two versions of the script ready in case he refused to go along with the dress scene. This showed him it wasn't an isolated incident, but a systematic pattern. Dave urged other actors and comedians to take a stand and stick by their principles, no matter what the industry promises them. What makes this entire thing even crazier is the fact that just 1 year before his SNL appearance, Kevin had a small role in the romantic comedy The 5-Year Engagement, and while promoting the movie in an interview with Black Tree TV, Kevin was asked to comment on Dave Chappelle's claims about black actors being forced to wear dresses. However, Kevin just laughed and said he agrees with Dave about the importance of setting boundaries and saying no to anything that can hurt your personal brand.
A great comedian said that, you know, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts, and is there something that, you know, you wouldn't do, you know, for
I definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you know, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. You know, for me, I know what they are. They've yet to been challenged, so you know, I don't have to speak on them. I was asked to dribble a basketball on a talk show this morning.
You look
said
good
no to
doing
that. Not that was a dress, but I was like, no, I'm gonna look stupid. You know, at the end of the day, you got to know that you're a brand. I'm a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times. When things happen that can possibly affect your brand, your brand can be diminished, and you don't want that to happen. So, you know, protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
So when Kevin appeared on SNL wearing a dress just 12 months later, it contradicted everything he had publicly stated about respecting Dave's stance and protecting his own brand. This is likely why sources close to Dave say he's always felt uncomfortable with Kevin's obsession with success. It appears that nowadays, Kevin no longer cares about setting boundaries or protecting his brand in the way he once claimed he would. Interestingly, Dave Chappelle's career trajectory after turning down that contract stands in stark contrast to Kevin's. The tabloid media dragged Dave's name through the mud, calling him a crack addict and claiming he had a mental breakdown. Meanwhile, Kevin's career skyrocketed after his SNL appearance. He was cast in Get Hard with Will Ferrell, The Wedding Ringer, Central Intelligence with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and the Jumanji franchise. He started his own production company, Heartbeat Productions, and signed major deals with Nickelodeon, Facebook, Peacock, and YouTube. Even when Kevin admitted to cheating on his pregnant wife, Aniko Parrish, in 2018, it didn't hurt his career at all. Between 2018 and 2022, Kevin appeared in 8 big-budget movies, hosted numerous events and award ceremonies, and secured countless commercial deals. This level of sustained success, despite personal controversies, is what makes people wonder if there's truth to the industry plant allegations. Katt Williams has repeatedly suggested that Hollywood is run by a secret society that controls who gets to be successful and who gets blackballed. According to Katt, entertainers like himself and Dave Chappelle can never achieve Kevin Hart's level of mainstream success because they refuse to join this secret organization or follow its rules. The contrast is striking. Dave Chappelle turned down $50 million, and his reputation was destroyed by the media. Katt Williams spoke out about industry practices and was labeled a drug addict. Meanwhile, Kevin Hart's career has only grown stronger despite public controversies, leading many to question what makes him different. One fan captured the sentiment perfectly. "This isn't about the dress for me. This is about how far people will go for the sake of money and fame. The dress itself isn't what is humiliating. How he sees the idea of men wearing dresses as being a boundary that he allowed himself to cross is what's humiliating. That's sad. I hope he finds the strength to go back to the mindset he had in the beginning about being man enough to stand by your beliefs, standards, and boundaries." At the end of the day, whether Kevin Hart really sold his soul for fame remains a matter of debate. What's undeniable is that he's an extremely talented and hard-working comedian. However, the pattern of compromising previously stated principles, combined with the suspicious timing of his career explosion and the industry's protection of him through various scandals, continues to fuel speculation about what he might have agreed to behind closed doors. The reason Kevin might be scared to truly face Katt Williams isn't about physical confrontation, it's about the truth. Katt has nothing to lose at this point and has shown he's willing to expose everything, regardless of the consequences to his own career. Kevin, on the other hand, has built an empire that depends on maintaining certain relationships and keeping certain doors open. A real reckoning with Katt could force Kevin to address questions he's been dodging for years about how he really got to where he is today. As Dave Chappelle has shown through his own journey, there's a heavy price to pay when you choose integrity over industry acceptance. The question remains, did Kevin Hart make a different choice? And if so, is that why he seems reluctant to engage with Katt's accusations in any meaningful way?